TCP. I'm Mr. Wilson from the TCP Academy. And today I'm going to be looking at a timetable for May-June 2023. And of course, this is the latest of timetable. Today is, of course, the 6th of April. For some persons, the exams probably be starting in a couple of days, or for others, might have started already. I'm going to be looking at the timetable based on the subject alphabetical order. Additional mathematics will come first, and then you are going to be seeing your paper 1, 2, and of course the alternative to practical, and the date they're coming up 7, 23rd, and 7. Look at the month, and of course the session speaks to how long the exam will be, and it's going to be in the morning or it's going to be in the evening. Here we're seeing morning exam. On to the other exam, additional mathematics. We have sciences award, the general paper, and of course paper 1 and 2 exam will be May in there the 2nd of June. Of course, look at the date and the session for the agriculture single award. The third exam here in alphabetical order is going to be agriculture science again, and this is a double award, so please ensure that you understand clearly which of the exams you are doing. Followed by biology. This year it's a little tricky for the persons who are doing biology, physics, and chemistry. These are coming up after the other. It makes it very difficult to have those multiple choice. So of course we will be having biology on the 22nd of May. That's going to be paper 2. We're going to be having the paper 1 on this. The practical comes up on of May, and of course we're seeing the time there be more for exam, PM for evening, AM for the morning. Then we have Caribbean history coming up there, and of course exam on the 9th of May and the 20th, depending on which of the paper 1, 2 or paper. Please pay attention to the time, duration, and what time of day the exam will be. It comes up next, number 6 in order, and these exams will begin, of course, on the 6th and will end on the 9th of June. Paper 1, 2, 3. Economics comes up on the 23rd of June, and this will end on the 31st, and it will, 23rd of May, and this will end of May. Paper 1, 2, and 3, or you might say alternative practical. Having both morning and evening exam, when you have your exams. Electronic document preparation and management, EDPM, comes up on the 11th of May, and the exam will end on the 2nd of June. All these papers are going to be in the morning. Then we have English A, 1, 2, and 3, and these exams will be on the 6th of May and will end on the 6th of June, depending on which paper you have. You must pay attention. 1 there indicates it's, and the 3 the practical is usually by private candidates. Then we have the English B, of course 1, 2, and 3. That's paper 1, 2, and 3. Exams will begin on the 12th of May and end on the 19th of May. We're going to be having both morning and evening. Family and resource management, which is of course a technical subject. Paper 1 and 2, the exam begins on the 3rd of May and will end on the 1st of May. Both exams are going to be in the morning. Then we have food and food, nutrition, and health, non-technical. Of course, this on the 9th of May. This is pretty much close now, and it will end on the 2nd of June. You have their morning and the evening. Then we have French coming up, paper 1 and of course 3, and this begins pretty much on the 10th of May, and begins on the 18th of April. and that's alternate practical, going up to 3rd of May, and then we're going to be having paper 1 and 2, 10th, and of course 26th of May, respectively. Oral examination, and we're going to be having morning and evening examination. If you want to be prepared for this exam, you really don't want to have it caught flat-footed, not being able to ace your paper. Geography comes up as a 4th exam in alphabetical order, 2 and 3, and the exam ends pretty much on 18th of May, end on of June. All the exams are scheduled to be in the morning. Human and social biology, another science exam, and this is of course paper 1, 2, and alternate practical. Of course, it will be the second year human and social biology students will be doing an SBR practical. Exam will begin pretty much on the 24th of May and end on the 29th. You're going to be having all evening exams for papers. Interestingly, we have the 16th exam being industrial technology, and this is a exams. Obviously, there is a common paper number 1. Then we are going to have building and furniture. Then we're going to be having electronics. Then we're going to be having engineering. So there you are seeing paper 2, paper 1 as a common paper for all exams. Will begin on the 9th of May, and they are scheduled to end on the 1st of June. And we're going to be having a mix for these exams. Some will be in the morning and some will be in the evening. You want to pay much attention to your screen. We're going to be having technology paper 1, 2, and of course alternative. Well, all these exams are scheduled to be for the exams are going to be both morning and integrated science comes up, and of course 18th exam in alphabetical order, paper 1, 2, and of course the practical. The exam is scheduled to start somewhere there about the 1st and of course end on the 5th of June. Remember, paper 2 is of course alternative practical, pretty much stated for those students private campus. These exams are stated to be both morning and of course afternoon. Mathematics comes up next with paper 1, 2, and alternative practical. Of course, the exams are slated to begin on the 17th of May and they're going to be ending on the 13th of June, depending on which paper you'll be having. And these exams will be both morning and evening. Interestingly, we have music coming up, and music will have a paper 1. And this exam, the paper 2, will be the practical examination period, and it's a time frame here from the 8th of May to the 9th of May. And of course, we're going to be having paper 1, of course, to be the 1st of June, and of course, it's going to be evening exam. The paper for the office administration 1 at somewhere there about the 7th of June and end the 12th. Papers are going to be morning and evening. Physical education and sport paper 1 and 2. May 23rd, we're going to be having paper 1. However, the paper 2, which is a practical exam, is going to last from April 18th to May 10th. And we are moving on to physics and other science exam, and it too has a practical as an alternative practical component, and also paper 1 and 2. I'm slated to start at 31st somewhere. These exams are going to be morning and evening exams. To GEES, it has paper 1, 2, and alternative practical. Now, interesting here, this exam has a oral examination. Of course, it's going to end somewhere there the 18th of April, the 3rd, and then we're going to be having paper 1 and paper 2 the 1st. And all these exams will have already will start in early as in April, and then we get into the big meet of May Now, interesting to note that the 25th exam based on in alphabetical order will come up to be here two as an alternative to practical along with the paper 1 and 2. The exams are stated to begin somewhere there about of May and end. And these papers are going to be both morning and evening papers. It's very important to here when you're going to be having principles of business, paper 1, 2, practical. The exams are stated to start somewhere there of May, the end in the 29th. You make sure you know what have it on which are the screen. And the exams are going to be a mix of morning and the evening exams. Religious education, paper 1 and 2, there is no alternative to practical paper. And this exam is stated 26th and should end somewhere there about the 6th of June. Both papers are going to be social studies comes up with paper 1 and 2 and of course an algebra. But there, the exam is slated to begin somewhere there about the 1st of May and should end by the June. We're going to be having a mix of papers that will be both morning and for the social study examination. Spanish is next in line with paper 1, 2, and 3, and then paper 3 is of course the oral examination. And this paper we use in this exam there about 18th of April, May. Of course, the exams paper 1 and 2 will be the 22nd of May. Both papers are going to be in the evening. You know the date and time for your exam. Technical drawing comes up paper 1 and paper 2, and the exam is slated to begin on the 8th of May and end somewhere in the 9th of June. Both papers are going to be in the morning. Textile, clothing, and fashion, and technical examination. Paper 1 and 2 is slated to start somewhere there the 8th of May and the 9th of June. Both papers are expected to be even. Theatre arts as a paper 1 and of course the alternative. Of course, it's going to be the 29th of May. Both papers they are going to be in the morning. Visual art comes up next with the paper 2, and it is stated we have 2 here. It is stated to be in the 8th to the 29th of May. And of course, there's also a paper given to candidate. The paper will be given to the candidate on the 20th of April. We're going to be seeing some papers coming. You would have observed that when we looked at the papers, paper 1, 2, and the alternative, we have been seeing signs and asterisks. I want to know what they mean. So of course, the plus sign, it is suggesting that you just see the nose to the timetable. And of course, an asterisk, a single asterisk means 50-minute break must be allowed in papers. And 3 asterisks suggests that alternative paper for private only, not for candidate registered in school and recognized full-time educational institutions. And of course, other asterisk, common paper, what we're going to be doing. Now, moving on below, we're going to be having what we refer to notes, the timetable. Now, it's very important that you take the opportunity to read and understand this clearly. It is as if you're reading, understand you're right. This is as if you're reading to be sure that you understand what the rules and regulations are for your examination. You really don't want to turn up to the examination. You're asking the examiner, can I use my geometry set? May I be allowed to use my calculator? I didn't know that I would be able to use a calculator in an exam. You want to make sure that you read along here. Make sure that you have clear understanding as to what is happening, and of course, where there are particular dates, particular things happen, you have a good grasp of that as well. You want to be in a state of readiness now. By this, you should have completed about 5 or 6 past papers. You're pretty comfortable heading into the exams. My recommendation is that person should complete at least 10 years worth of past paper into the exam. But we are not going to be getting any short topics this year. So it means that it might be a little rougher on some persons and teachers, as we have to try as much as possible, even though we prepare from the front of the syllabus to the back, to be very tactical in doing the final preparation to ensure that students are able to ace their exam. As usual, Mr. Wilson will be having his usual biology and HSP marathon. Usually they begin on a Friday and go up Sunday evening. You can inbox me, WhatsApp me. You can find it on my ads, which will be attached to the video, or you could just try to reach me. You very happy to have you join in my marathon classes. I do hope that you are preparing well for your exams, and of course, you are going to be seeing that result off so that you can matriculate tertiary. Reminded you should have already applied for tertiary institute, and if not, in the process. The document which I have shared with you just now, it is the revised document, and it was revised on the 8th of February 2023. So it is the most current of document for examination. Until next meet, I want you to take good care of yourselves and make sure that you're studying, make sure that you're collaborating, make sure that you're using the technology to enhance your learning, be it Zoom, be it WhatsApp, or whatever platform you're using, platform. Make sure that you are doing your best, of course, have the best result. As I said earlier, take good care.